Go for it. Yeah.
So you know, the issues that you just discussed, menstruation, the issue we discussed when we first met, abortion.
Yeah.
The next session was on infertility and surrogacy, are all extremely important issues. And I'm glad that many of these issues are now at least being spoken about. We need to do a lot more speaking, but they're being spoken about. But when this book came up, and I must give credit to a woman for inspiring me, because my co-author, Shonali Sabarwal, is a much published author, and she comes to me and said, could we do a book together? And we said, what do we do the book on? And what is it that at the moment is shrouded in silence? We went to the bookstore and there are tons of books on pregnancy. I'm so happy they are there. We are now having conversations and organizations doing menstruation. But here is something that every woman is going to go through, and
no one is talking about.
And no one's talking about.
And no one even knows the symptoms. You know, when you start getting hot flashes, when you can't sleep at night, your libido diminishes, and you don't know what's happening to you, and you think, "Acha, budi ho gayi."
Yes.
Ya hone wali hu.
Yeah. So this is a time in your life, and you know the whole thing is it's all menopause. Here's a young audience, and they'll say, "Why are these two talking to us about menopause? It's like decades away." But trust me, we kind of looked at it and we changed the whole conversation.
Why is that? Did you find menopause is hitting women younger?
We are first talking about perimenopause because your changes start many years before menopause.
Yeah.
We are talking about the rest of your life after menopause because women are going to spend 40 to 50% of their lives after menopause. We are talking about perimenopause because each and every person in this room has someone they love who is probably going to experience this or is already experiencing this. These are people who've given you their life, who've given you their attention, who've given you their affection. It's time for payback for society. And I think it's time that everyone becomes aware. And we don't want to hear all these stupid cliches about, oh, mummy's getting crabby, so she must be experiencing hormonal changes. Or even for women to generally experience, women to experience this ridiculous thing about, oh, she's being difficult, so she's probably going to get her periods. Nobody tells a man that when he's being difficult or when he's being crabby, and men do that a lot. So I think this is a conversation that was waiting to happen. We believed that we needed to create something to give women the information and the tools. You have to arm yourself. Don't depend upon someone else. Go and find it and then challenge the people.
Tell us one thing, one stereotype about menopause that needs to be called out.
So firstly, you know, the fact that menopause happens to everyone, so it's okay, you should just suffer it in silence. Oh, my mother suffered menopause. She never said anything. Oh, my menopause happens, so what? And very often this is also, you know, I once read something very interesting by Oprah Winfrey. And by the way, I'll never forget the interview you did with her.
Right here in Jaipur, by the way.
She said, where are your notes? Where is your teleprompter? How are you doing this interview? To you. Yeah. So Oprah Winfrey said she went to 5 doctors and none of them told her that what you're really going through is menopause. 5 doctors, Oprah Winfrey, probably the best people in the US. So if you're going to wait for someone else to take this forward for you, not going to happen. What we tried to do is we tried to create a conversation. Now, interestingly, books are always written from an angle, medical or non-medical. We saw some books on menopause, very anti-medical, very anti-hormones.
Like what? What would they say?
I mean, they say hormones are bad. You shouldn't be on hormones. You shouldn't take hormone therapy. And the other hand, there were doctors in the West who do hormones for everyone. Ridiculous. Every woman is different. Everything has to be individualized. So now, if I was to break a stereotype, the first thing is a majority of women will experience symptoms of transition, 65, 70%. It's going to happen. 40% are going to experience more symptoms. And 10% the symptoms are going to be severe and disruptive.
So, you know,